Hey, good day. Today's training is on tracking pixels, and we're going to, in 5 minutes or less, quickly cover what tracking pixels are, how they work, what we use them for, common uses, and also talk about Google Tag Manager a little bit. So let's jump in. First, what is a tracking pixel? A pixel, by definition, is a 1 pixel by 1 pixel image. And in the web world, we can use that 1 pixel by 1 pixel image to transfer information specific, in this case, specific to tracking users' behavior, back to basically back to a server. So that could be to Google Analytics or to Facebook. Lots of different ways that information can get sent. We'll go through those. Up on screen, what you see is a typical tracking pixel, and this is the Google Analytics tracking pixel. Lots of pieces to it. It's confusing looking for those of us who are not developers. Nothing we really need to know about. We essentially just cut and paste this code and magic happens. So first of all, how they work. So the layman's explanation as to how pixels work is this. User comes to a website or opens an email, sees an ad. Lots of situations can trigger the pixel. But basically they load a document, and what happens is a piece of JavaScript sort of kicks in and captures a bunch of information about that user. Now, what information it captures is really dependent on what the function of the pixel is. So if it's Google Analytics, it's going to be a lot to do with the user, what page they're on a website, that sort of thing. If it's Facebook, it may be just related to a specific conversion occurring, or email that an email opened. So lots of different information can be captured there. And then step 3 in this whole process basically is that information sort of gets packed up and attached to that 1 pixel by 1 pixel image and sent back to a server. And the end result for us marketers is basically pretty reports that tell us what's going on, how users are interacting, that sort of thing. So a lot of complex stuff happens, but the end result is that we get the tracking that we need to run ads and analyze website traffic. So why we use tracking pixel, aside from just, obviously the first is just tracking website traffic and on-site behavior. We use it to track conversions and send that conversion data to either Google Analytics or a specific ad network to let them know that, or an affiliate network, that a conversion occurred. In addition to that, it could just be tracking interactions. So when you think of email opens, the fact that an email opened is actually delivered back to MailChimp or Constant Contact or other email service providers through pixels. So that's another mechanism, or another use for the mechanism. And then last is just to build audiences. So a lot of times these tracking pixels are simply just gathering information about users and cookieing users so that we can show them ads and advertise to them more effectively. So just to dive a little more into some of the examples, here's Google Analytics. You should know what the reports look like, screenshot there, but obviously that pixel is going to send information all related to the user, what page they're on, and how they're interacting with your website. And the Google Analytics is actually going to be used to build audiences as well. So we can use those audiences in Google Ads to run ads differently, run retargeting ads, that sort of thing. So ad networks, just about every ad network is going to have some sort of tracking pixel, and really the primary goal is so that they can see that post-click behavior. So when someone clicks on a Facebook ad, assuming that the conversion point doesn't stay on Facebook and actually comes to your website, the ad network wants to know what happens next. It wants to know to run ads more effectively, know who to target. Also wants to know to build audiences. So Facebook wants to know when somebody converts so that they can go into a bucket of people who convert, and then we could potentially tap into that audience for that bucket of users who converted to run additional ads. So they have their own uses for them. Affiliate tracking. So all the affiliate marketing that we do today relies on pixels. That basically is a publisher, a website out there that's promoting our client's product. User clicks on a link, and basically that user is then cookied. The user comes to our client's website and purchases, and then a pixel fires. That pixel then tells that affiliate network, hey, this person converted, and the affiliate network puts all the pieces together and says, well, that person came from this publisher, and we should pay that publisher this much money because of that conversion. So that's how affiliate marketing networks use them. And then lastly, a good one to cover is email tracking. So the reason that ESPs such as MailChimp, and that's email service providers such as MailChimp and Constant Contact, the reason that they know that an email opened or how many times it opened or who opened it has to do with pixels as well. So that little pixel is firing every time that email opens. So that's the basics of pixels and what we use them for. Now, something that sort of a buzzword and something that we use commonly to implement pixels is called Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager is an example. These are commonly called tag management tools. And basically, these are services that help deliver and fire the right pixels at the right time. So if you think about the situation with like Google Analytics, that pixel actually has to get fired on every website, meaning that pixel has to appear on every web page as it loads. So something like Google Tag Manager can help deliver that, and we go into Google Tag Manager and say, hey, here's the pixel for Google Analytics, make sure it shows up all the time. Now what Tag Manager can also do though is sort of consolidate, like when a conversion happens, and fire all the pixel it needs to. So let's just say that a conversion occurs on our website, somebody makes a purchase. At that time, if we're running Facebook ads, and if we're running Google ads, and if we're using Google Analytics, and if we have an affiliate marketing program going, in all of those cases, we may have to fire the pixel all at once, or maybe just a series of those, maybe just one or two of those. What Tag Manager helps us do based on the trigger, that particular conversion, is know where to send and which pixels to fire at that time. So simply put, all tag management tools like Tag Manager do are just help us sort of keep clean, sort of organized way to fire the pixels we need to, when we need to. And there's a lot of efficiencies built in as well that help us, easily tap into different conversions that occur. So it's a really important one to know about, just because in communicating with clients and thinking about how we're going to implement things is just kind of having the broad scope of all the services that we're offering, and figuring out, what's the most efficient way that we can get everything that we need to track, all the pixels that we need to fire in a way and fire consistently, and know that it's always working at a time. So, Tag Manager is, one of the tools that we use to do that. So that's a quick summary, the crash course on pixels. Short quiz to follow. Thank you for your time today.